Good day, everyone, and welcome to coverage of the 4th annual Welcome to the Jungle 4 presented by Discmania Discs. We are playing in Coggshall Park in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. I am Adam Abruzzi alongside Bob Kulchuk.
Hi, everyone.
And we are here to just cover the lead card. We want to thank Rapscallion Brewery, Taproom, and Disc Golf in Sturbridge, Mass. for making this possible with ActonTV. And here I am.
Here's Adam. Just missed the lead card coverage by his PDGA number, actually. He was tied. He should have been there. But
Looks like it was about 6 months worth of signing up for the PDGA, but I'm still excited for what we're going to be seeing today. Right now, we got some awesome coverage of the first round, just seeing a lot of people throw. And, you know, it's really hard to come across in the video, but you'll see it as it goes through. This was a very cold, very windy day in Fitchburg, and just watching the players persevere through that was pretty awesome.
yeah, and you'll see it from the results on a lot of these holes.
Yeah, for sure. Thankfully, the ratings were kind to us due to that kind of weather. But, you know, another reason this day was so special was tournament director Bob Kulchuk. He really always puts on an amazing event for all the professionals and amateurs that come out over the 2 days. And, I mean, Bob makes these must-attend events.
I try.
Yeah, you do a great job at it, bud.
All right, so here we have Mike Habets. He's hailing from New Hampshire. He's Prodigy sponsored. This is his second or third year that he's come to the event. Shane Wyatt from Mass. He is unsponsored, but I'm sure that he's looking for one if anybody's interested. And here's this. Nick Carl. I don't know if he's sponsored, but I think he's been throwing a lot of, I don't know, Discraft lately, I guess.
Discraft and Inter, I believe, yeah.
Travis Reed, local pro. He does so much work on the course, so it's good to see him doing well on this day. It's his second year that he's been on the lead card. Dylan Rees was actually the highest rated player at the event. He came from New York. He's playing the course blind, so you'll see some interesting shots from him.
What's really awesome here is you'll see all 5 players are coming in exactly one stroke off each other, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. So, I mean, it's tight one player to the next, and that's for sure. Mm-hmm. And here we are starting off on hole 1, and I consider it one of the course's must-get-tos. It's just under 200 feet. You shoot out of a pretty fair gap off the tee box, and you should be able to tuck this up pretty neatly to the basket.
Yeah, this hole is playing as the second easiest hole. It's 2.66 was the average over the 178 rounds.
That's a must-get, too, for these guys, that's for sure.
So here we got Mike teeing off. Looks like he leaked it a little left and a little long, maybe. But he gets an incredible roll. Let's see if it sits.
That's coming back.
Wow.
Yeah, that was every bit what you want.
Oh, and we have our first flight tracker.
Tracker of the day. And I mean, look at that. Anything but hitting that spot, and he's going to either be long or unhappy, and then a very favorable roll for sure.
He'll like that. It's a good way to start. Here we have Shane throwing a putter, maybe a Marshall. Or a slammer, I guess.
Looks like it to me.
He's got to get that left. Oh, that worked out just fine.
Oh, he did not get as favorable a roll and kick. That was spinning hard when it hit the ground.
It's a pretty stable disc, though. I'm not sure what he's throwing here, but it looks putterish.
He went right at it.
Oh.
That's absolutely perfect.
Perfect nestle. Oh, you're going to see an overhand here, I think, from Travis. This is the other play that you can do.
I feel like it won't be the last one we see out of him today.
He does like to throw a lot of overhands. That's perfect.
Yep.
It's within 20 feet. Dylan throwing... He's a Legacy-sponsored guy, so I'm not sure what disc that is. Maybe a clutch or...
Maybe a closer. He left that on a hyzer, and he'll definitely have the longest putt of the group here.
Nice, great putt.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah, like you said, these guys all want this, need to get this first hole in the bag. It's a good putt. Now it's all going to be cleanups, I think, right? They're pretty close.
Yeah, you know, Travis has a little bit of an awkward position, but he should have no problem cleaning that up. As you can see, he's probably taking that putt more often than any player on the card, maybe combined.
Right. Yeah, Travis is, like I said, he does a lot of work on the course, but he also runs the league, or at least helps with running the league, so...
That is a perfect star frame, leaving everybody in the same score positions as they were, but hey, one stroke lower to the par. All that green's looking good for the players as we move on to hole 2, just over 250 feet. This plays right of the tee box. You know, you're going to see players probably forehand and backhand this, and the real danger is going long, where it's a real downhill, or kicking anywhere left towards the downhill. So the players are really trying to keep this in the fairway while fighting the stronger winds of the day for sure.
And with the wind today, this was actually playing a lot harder than I would have expected it to. It played as the 8th easiest hole, but it came in at just about a quarter stroke over par.
I could see it being difficult. We just saw Mike, you know, have a pretty low forehand there, and it was not kind on the ground. There's the backhand approach.
Oh, he just turned it a little too quick.
Took him right into one of those first trees on the right. You know, it shows that the hole has a fairly tight gap off the box.
Yeah. It's a tough angle, actually. I usually throw a similar shot to that, try and nestle it up there. But, man, if you're not close on this hole, it's tough to even go for it.
Yeah, all the approaches are pretty dangerous.
Oh,
Looks like the wind brought Travis into the same issue as Shane had and just really dragging the discs left to right off the tee box here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks like a thumber. So he's sponsored by Legacy, like I said, but I think... This that he's throwing is a Nuke or a Nuke OS.
Now, it really looks like he took advantage of that left to right wind there. Forced him over, and he may have gone long, but I bet he has a putt back at that.
This should work out all right.
It's flattening out well. He'll have a putt from there for sure.
It's a dangerous putt, but he's probably within 30 feet anyway. And that'll show you the danger of this. Like, if you get off the fairway in any of these holes, it's often tough to fight your way back.
Seems like there's no direct line. Travis found one of those trees off.
It's smart play, just laying up.
Absolutely. You don't want to start adding up here.
Mike from down below the basket. Giving a little bit of a run, but leaving it close.
That was a very fair, safe play for him. Nick has the same danger issue going on here.
It looks like he's lining up to give this a run, though.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
That's
the danger right there.
Just ahead of where Dylan was.
Yeah. Dylan from probably 40 feet. Oh, just off the band. It was close.
Now, I got to say, if you're going to have a putt for 2 on this hole, that's where you want it to be. From back down behind the basket, putting up at it.
Oh, let's see. That's the danger. If you give it a run and put it long, then you're starting to stack up. And he's not close, so this is a tester.
I'll have a quick look at Shane's putt to see what the wind does, thankfully.
Right. Shane just firing it in there. That's a great putt.
No fear, Shane.
So Nick with a real tester here. Oh, that was a great putt. That was a good
Absolutely.
cleanup. Minimize the damage.
Yeah, tough bogey, but it definitely could have added up worse.
Easy tap in for par. Also tap in for par. We're on to the next hole. They were able to minimize the damage for the most part. Travis took a bogey and so did Nick, but could have gone worse.
Yep, just right in the middle of the pack there, dropping a stroke. You know, it's going to be tough, but that hole can really get you in, you know, walking away and nobody taking the 2. Even Nick and Travis will be able to recover from that. We're going to roll into hole 3 here on a windy day. This is a top hole, just under 400 feet with a very straight, narrow fairway the entire way to a basket that sits just below a pretty tall rock. These players right now off the box in this wind, I imagine they're just trying to get as far down the front side of the fairway as they can so they have a stronger approach at the basket.
Yeah, and this one played as the 17th hardest hole, so it played 3.71.
Wow.
So almost a full stroke over par.
Mike got an absolute crush, though. He made it all the way through the fairway, and he's nestled up against the rock.
This is a great look. Just a little bit low, but that was a great line.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. These guys have proven me wrong. They're attacking 100% straight down the alley.
Yeah, so Dylan told me that because he's playing this blind and because it's so windy, he feels really comfortable with that overhand, so he's just trying to keep it in the middle and give himself a look.
So far, it's looking good.
Nick with a beautiful line. That's going to leak a little left, but that's still going to probably...
Could be right around where Mike is up against the rock.
It's actually pretty close.
Yeah, that roll's really nice. He's pretty close to the basket on that one.
definitely looks like titanium plastic. I think that's maybe one of those Kongs. I don't know if those came out with titanium yet, but
Travis. That was looking to go every bit as far as the rest.
There was only 4 people that carded a 2 all day long.
Wow. I know Travis did it in the first round. No, maybe it's here he does it. Wow.
Wow.
That was even a surprise to me.
I think it was a surprise to him. Watch it go off this tree.
Wow. Oh, and the back side of that basket caught him. That was amazing.
That was great. So he was one of
So he was
4
one
people.
of those 4.
Yep. So there was Travis, Joel Dewhurst in MA1, Pete Nevius in MP40, and Cody White in MPO.
That's impressive.
Yeah, you're definitely taking strokes on the field if
Absolutely.
you get a 2 on this hole. Even if you get a 3, you're probably taking strokes on most of the field. So from where he was, he can't even see the basket.
No, that's a blind putt.
So that was a really good bid. Nick is closer. He might have a look at the basket.
There it is. Ooh, just to the right side of the chains, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. And you could see how much water is on this hole. And there was several holes that water came into play a lot.
Oh,
just
for sure.
casual water, but man, it was...
It's a swampy day.
It was. As we get further into the course, there's a couple other holes where it plays. In fact, I had to do OB on one of the holes to try and keep people out of the worst of it.
Well, at least you minimized people's day, I guess.
For anybody who didn't go in there, maybe.
Exactly. You can see Shane's really just standing right in the middle of it, cleaning up his par. I mean, par is absolutely wonderful on a hole like this.
So there was 178 attempts at that hole. 4 birdies.
Yeah, and there's one of them right there.
72 pars. Over 100 bogeys plus.
Well, Travis has to feel good coming off a bogey, taking the birdie there. Now we walk into hole 4, a straight uphill 185-foot shot. The basket leans left of the tee box, and you really just have to get up off the road, fade something towards the basket, and let it settle on to what I'd say is a very fair 20-foot green.
Yeah. Yeah, you like this tree right in the middle of the fairway that he just missed. You're sort of forced to make a choice to go left or right of that. If you go left of it, often you're coming up short in those pines. If you go right of it, you're bringing in the right side of the fairway into, like he just did.
Well, he just clicked right into it, and I mean, Travis got all the kicks in the world, and he's settled up near the basket.
Right.
Shane's taking the higher route for sure. He just needs to get past the Guardians, and it doesn't look like he will. He's going to fall just behind the short, skinny trees. There is a bit of a lane through there.
There's enough of a lane through there to make you think you can get through it.
Yeah, you have to go ahead and try to put one through.
Oh, he's definitely shaved this off early. It's going to be a tough spot.
Tough. Going to be tough. He's definitely going to have to go over the top, which we now know at least he's very comfortable with.
Right.
Ooh.
Leaked it out a little right. It's going to be a tough upshot. It's funny because it looks like it's a short hole, 185 feet, but it plays at least 40 feet uphill, and I'd say it plays well over 200, probably closer to 300.
I agree. It's a stiff uphill shot, and you really have to give a full force to it while trying to represent that middle tree.
That was a good run. Yep, you can see the damage that he put himself in. Let's see if he can get out.
I've been where he is. I know that's the only way. He did find himself into the very bottom of the green.
So you can see that there's a lane, but it's just enough to make you think you can get through.
It forces you to take the shot. It doesn't let you not. Dylan's putting gets him out of the rest of the trouble there, and he takes a par.
This is for birdie.
There it is. Good job, Travis.
Good putt.
Yep, 2 birdies off of a bogey is definitely what he was looking for there. It was very clearly easy to shake that 4 off. Quick par from Mike.
See, as we go through this, you'll see that there's a lot of holes out here that can be birdied, but stringing enough of them together and staying safe on the other holes to really accumulate a good score is really hard to do.
I agree,
especially
100%.
in this wind.
I think that's what makes this course so special.
Right.
Good cleanup par for Shane, too.
Not a lot of damage.
Always smiling. Travis once again taking a stroke on the card, bringing himself to 5 down, sneaking himself into 3rd place. Mike and Shane stay atop while Travis and Dylan, while Nick and Dylan are finishing off the 4-5 spot. Hole 5, one of the longer holes, plays pretty straight with 3 guardian trees on the left-hand side. Most players are going to be able to take either a forehand or a backhand approach here, where you're just trying to come as straight down the fairway to a basket that sits on a kind of scary slope.
It does. And this one played as the hardest hole in the tournament. So it came in at 3.76. And it was the hardest hole.
I can see it.
One player who got a birdie on this, and that was Scott Groom.
The woods on the right and the left-hand side of this hole can be very dangerous. And
yeah, he's going to find
Mike
that
might
out,
be
I
able to
think.
show that out. That left-hand side right there, not only tough to find your disc off the box, but then you just really only have the option of going up and over. Everything's at least 6 feet high over there.
Right. And there's a lot of brambles and other things in there that don't move when you try and move them.
Not at all. Shane just showed near perfection.
Mhm.
Just sitting on the edge side of the fairway, he'll have a beautiful look right at the basket. That turns over. That's going to look nice too. There it goes.
It's going to leak out a little to the left, but he's way up by the basket.
He is very far up.
See the basket? He's about almost pin high.
That was an impressive throw.
Yeah, what you don't really realize on this hole is that even though it's 358 and it seems reachable, it's playing uphill virtually the entire way, and it's a gradual uphill, but I'd say it plays close to 400.
I agree. It's always slightly uphill, though. It doesn't need to be a strong incline, but you'll notice it when you're playing the hole and you think you can reach it.
Right. You can see the slope of the green there where it's hard to get it to stop on the green.
Looked like Nick had a worse kick than this, but he's really sitting pretty nice just off the side of the fairway. Easy approach.
You can see Sam, the cameraman, catch cam man.
There's Mike. He's pretty deep, like I said, and you can see he just had to throw over, but settles it right in towards the green. He's well inside, 15 feet maybe.
Shane's got a putt, looks like about 60 feet.
That was an amazing drive.
Giving it a run. Just over the top. Still leaves himself pretty close. Should be able to clean that up.
On a windy day, he might not love it, but he's still sitting in a great spot.
You can see that he's putting out of that stuff. Oh, man. Good shot. Good bid.
On a hole that averaged the hardest, that would have been a great 2.
Oh, my God, yeah. I can't believe only one person got a 2 there.
178 attempts.
Yeah.
That's what she said? 178 attempts. That's amazing. Ooh, Travis. That's not a putt Travis misses a lot.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Shane's a really direct putter. He just fires it in there. Par. Just moving right along, getting pars. It's not hurting anybody.
All right, Travis takes a tough bogey there, coming off of a couple of birds.
You got the 2 hardest holes out of the way, so
Yeah, now we get to see how these guys start doing after they've gotten there. At this point, we have to imagine the camera jitters are off of these guys.
yeah.
They got to be feeling like they're ready to settle in here for hole 6. Probably the signature hole in Coggshall, in my opinion. You're shooting over a very large gap.
Oh, yeah.
You have to make it to the top to be successful, because any one of these kicks in the center of the fairway, they're going to punish you severely.
Right. Yeah, and it's 335, but the basket plays uphill from where you're standing on the tee box, and to get all the way to the basket is at least 375. I'm
Absolutely.
guessing. But just to get across, you have to throw at least 300.
And it has to
pretty
be
much dead straight.
It has to be very straight. Mike did a great job just going a little bit on the inside. Looks like Shane has just exactly what we said. Very straight to the top of the hill, and it definitely faded out to the left. But I mean, from there, he's got plenty of angles towards the basket. It's just
Yeah, almost pin high. It's a great shot.
Don't see a lot of this on this hole,
Yeah, this is interesting.
especially with the wind.
Wow, you can see the wind really throw that disc around.
He made it to the top, though. I mean, he must be no more than 10 feet off the top of that hill.
Yeah, he was telling me that he was a college baseball player, played a little bit of professional ball afterwards. So I think definitely as a pitcher, he's probably got that overhand down.
So we just saw Nick get one of those punishing kicks I was telling you guys about. Travis tries to
it's
stay
another
under
one.
the wind with a little bit low of a shot for him, and he kicks a tree, dropping himself down.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where if you don't have an overhand shot to do just that, you're struggling to get up.
Now, thankfully, he'll be happy that he made it to the top, but he was definitely looking to reach basket there. Again, the wind's not going to allow it.
Not sure where that went, but oh, there it is.
Yep, looks like he's going to be right side of the fairway all the way at the top, though. After Dylan's tee shot, he's looking at a pretty fair approach to the basket. It'd be tough to run it from there, but no problem settling in for 3.
Nick's got a look. Dangerous look.
Good run, though.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
just off the cage.
That was a great run. This is approach 4. Almost a safe par. He'll have a drop-in bogey, I think.
Absolutely. It was good to see them both be very aggressive with that shot. And Mike, ooh, wow.
Wow, that was a good bid.
It
There's
really
only
was.
4 players that got a 2 on this hole.
Mike,
Well, let me take that back. There were 4 2s carded by 3 players.
wow. So somebody managed to hit this one twice.
Kyle Moriarty hit it both rounds.
That's impressive, Kyle. Good job, man.
And Alex Vigilant and Greg Peterson both hit that from M1. So Kyle's the only MPO that got it, and he got it both rounds.
That is impressive. And we can see this hole rear in its head. Took a couple of bogeys there from the players, and the rest will clean up for a quick par.
And hole 6 actually played as the 16th hardest hole. So they've got a stretch here where they're just playing.
They're playing the tough ones now.
Yeah.
You can't wait to see what they do on the others. 2 bogeys there. Travis is second in a row. Hopefully he can come off, shake that off. Mike and Shane are still sitting along the top. And now Nick, Travis, and Dylan are all tied. 3 down total. Hole 7. The first par 4 that we come to today probably plays just under this 442 mark because it's a little bit slightly downhill where the basket sits, but this is tough. The initial gap is only about 90 feet total from the tee box, but it is incredibly narrow, no more than about 25 feet. And these players have to hit it.
They do.
Find their way into the open right-hand side and fall down. There are players who forehand it. I don't know if we'll see one here.
Yeah, you see that a lot. You'll kick left, and that's going to be a tough spot.
If you don't put it that 100 pin straight, what's going to happen is pretty much exactly what Mike did unless you bring it in early left. Shane has found what we were talking about.
Oh, this is a great shot. That's still probably going to be okay.
He'll still be pretty happy. He definitely got hung up, and he had hit the exact line. I'm sure the wind just affected that so much. Overhand here from Dylan. Great.
Yeah, that's a great spot. I mean, he should have it up and down for a pretty easy routine 3, but we'll see. Yeah, that's it.
It's been happening to him on the last couple of holes right off the box. He's been finding them.
So this one played at sort of in the middle, 11th hardest hole. It was 4.22 it played at, so just a bit over par.
Yeah, I mean, for a par 4, that's a pretty fair average, and in this wind, I'm really not surprised to see that number. It was nice to see Travis forehand that one. I like that play.
Yeah.
He didn't make it all the way out, but he'll be
an
happy.
Amazing upshot.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Anytime you hit early, if you can get yourself a putt, that's incredible. Because the angles are usually not there to get up and down.
Very rarely are they friendly.
Shane doesn't usually forehand, but
No.
that was a pretty good one, actually, to get out of some trouble.
Yeah, he's actually just probably stayed sitting on the other side of that rock. It'll be about 40, 50 feet, and that's a good look for Shane.
It's looking like an overhand here. Looks like a...
Oh.
He's still going to have a long putt, but
He
it's
played
still...
that very well until it hit that stuff, though.
Dylan... Oh, man.
Wow.
That was punishing.
Took about half the distance he had right back. Could see him carve out his forehand. Oh, wow. Hit again.
Just hit one of those little twigs.
You can see how unforgiving the right side is sometimes. Right up to the pin. There you go.
It's good recovery.
Shake it off, right? Shake it off.
It's Mike's 3rd shot, I think.
I think so, yeah. He'll
Great.
settle in nice for a par.
Yeah, there was a pretty good even distribution on this. There was 17% birdies, 50% par, and 33% bogey. So or bogey plus.
And being over both days, it's pretty fair.
No, this is just for the...
That's just for the day? Okay.
Yeah, we had almost 90 players. We had one no-show, so we had 89 players, 2 rounds.
Excellent birdie by Nick. Tough bogey there.
So after that string of the hardest holes on the course, we're going to be moving into the easiest hole on the course.
Excellent.
Hole 8.
There we go. A little bit of movement here. Mike and Shane will stay the same, but Nick takes one back on Travis and Dylan, and Dylan drops below Travis to be rounding out the 5 right now. Hole 8. This is my second one where I got to say it's pretty much a must-get, too. Is very much everything just funnels towards the basket. Even in this wind, it shoots downhill 193. It is a 150-foot approach for guys like this.
Oh, yeah. There was only 12 players that got bogey or worse on this hole.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And look at that. I mean, inside 10 feet.
And like I said, it played as the easiest. It was 2.63, so almost half a stroke under par.
Mike left his a little bit too much on hyzer, and he found himself on the left-hand side. Shane will settle in nicely.
He snuck through that. That doesn't happen usually.
No.
Usually get kicked left into that.
Ooh, hit the last tree on the left-hand side.
It's probably going to leave him with a 50, 60-footer. This overhand play could work. Oh, it hit the last tree.
Last tree for him, too.
So nobody's really that close. Shane had snuck through, but...
I think Shane and Nick are the only two that really found themselves inside 15 feet on the easiest hole here.
It's a good look, actually, but...
Ooh. Not the most comfortable of stances there, but he definitely had a better look at it than I thought off the box.
And he was outside the circle, so... Oh, very close. Just a few inches and that would have been a pretty amazing birdie. But par isn't going to hurt, I don't think. Although Shane is nipping at his heels, so...
There he goes, taking one. Nick with stringing together 2 birdies in a row here. And then just some par cleanup.
Well, guys, you had your reprieve with the easiest hole. Now we're going to
Now
go
we
back
move
to
on
the
hole
hard
9.
holes.
Mike and Shane tied it first now. Nick Carl just 2 strokes behind them. This is really still anybody's game as we enter hole 9, a straight downhill 360-foot hole. At the end of this 360 feet, the basket tucks itself just about 20 feet right off of the fairway. These guys need to know that it's most important not to go left here. It is incredibly dangerous on the left-hand side. There's a lot of play from the right, but from the left, it's just trouble.
Yeah, and it's really... You know, you can just throw a putter dead straight right towards Sam, the cameraman, and if you can land it anywhere down there on the road, you're going to have a look.
They'll be thrilled.
20-ish feet right to the basket. So this is a play that can get you to the basket, but it requires you getting a little bit lucky through some of these trees, and that's
Awesome
just
shot,
what
Shane.
he did.
Oh, it looks like we're getting our second flight track of the day.
Flight tracker.
Flight tracker. He clearly, if you watch, he gets skinny around about 5 trees on the way down there by just turning over that putter slightly down, and it worked out.
I think that was a slammer again.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Mike's throwing here. Probably a putter. Maybe a PA3 or something.
Taking a very similar approach to Shane and trying to find himself through the woods, and he'll be pretty happy. He's about 50, 60 feet short, but like I said, the right-hand side's forgiven.
Another putter play. Throwing a dagger. Probably looking for the wind to push him a little right and get lucky through there, but came up a little bit short. And here we go with this overhand play. This could work. I think it shapes up all right for this. Oh, he took a low line drive. I'm not sure if that was the angle he was looking for, but...
He'll definitely have...
some work.
I had to imagine he was going to have to go up over the top again. He was too short to be past that initial laurel. Good skip in to round.
Wow, that was great.
Excellent. Quick, good recovery for him.
Yeah, and that laurel, I mean, we cleaned out a lot of the laurel on this hole, but we also left a lot, and it's not forgiving.
No. Probably a safe run considering it does bleed downhill after the basket.
Yeah, if you miss the basket here, you could roll away. And that was he was lucky that he hit that tree and didn't keep rolling, but I've had mine roll 40, 50 feet down the hill.
It can be scary.
That was a great
Bullet.
putt. Dangerous putt. If you miss the basket again, you're going 40 feet at past minimum.
As far as I know, that too, if I remember correctly, that's already the second or third just death putt he's taken today straight into the chains. Travis, very uncharacteristic miss there. Same for Mike.
Yeah. I mean, he looked like he took his time and really tried to hit that one. I don't know if it was the wind. Maybe he pushed it up a little bit. See, I think these guys are thinking now, you know, any extra stroke they take at this point, because they are jammed up. And plus, we have 5 players that were tied with that last place on the front card. So anything could be happening on the chase card or even the third card.
It was really tight that day, and I know that these players are starting to feel the effects of every stroke that they gain and lose on these holes.
So like I said, hole 9 had played almost a half a stroke over par, 3.46. That was the 15th hardest hole.
Well, with one birdie there for Shane,
Right.
2 bogeys,
Shane in first
still
place by 2
pretty
strokes
tight
now.
All right, hole 10. This is one that we had to add some OB to due to just the left-hand side of this being incredibly swampy, thick, and muddy. So there was a lot of OB. Early on the left-hand side, you have to pin this down straight, and then it'll fall to the left-hand side where the basket is. Just don't go in early to the OB swamp.
Right. And, you know, it didn't really play all that hard. It came in under par, actually, at 2.88. You know, people didn't seem to have too much trouble. All you really got to do is throw it straight down that gap and have it fade in later.
Even that shot's just fine. He's at the mouth of the opening.
Yeah, there was a lot of birdies here. And there was one.
Oh, that is true.
A single one.
You know, I was on the card when that happened. It was pretty special.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, Rees got an ace on this hole, so.
Shout out to Rees. It was a pretty special moment. Hopefully some of you have seen the memes that have spawned from it.
Yeah, the reaction was pretty priceless.
Travis. I think that was Travis with the overhand, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, right up against the basket.
Ooh, that was a good look. But you can see how wet it is there.
This is one of those casual water holes we were talking about. And this
Yep.
is the reason for all the OB rope you can see on the left-hand side. Shane is not going to be pleased with that.
He's laughing it off, though, I think.
Always.
No.
No punishment for it.
It's a good birdie.
Great birdie.
Yeah, birdies are hard to come by here. I mean, just in general, like on this day with this wind.
Absolutely. You know, everyone has to feel a little bit better than normal.
See how wet it is. I mean, it was literally a river running through this fairway.
Good 2 for Travis. That brought Mike back within 1 of Shane. You know, Nick is just 2 behind Mike. Travis and Dylan tied at 3. Still anybody's game with 8 holes to go, I can tell you that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hole 11 is definitely one of those holes where somebody could add some strokes on. It is a tight fairway that plays left to right to a very open basket. But you got to get through.
You do. And it plays almost like a C shape. So
like,
unless you're going to go up and over the top like Dylan's going to do here, which very few people can do,
yeah,
that's
wow,
perfect. I mean,
I'm not kidding when I tell you, you know, it may be hard to see on film, but not everybody can do that. That is a very high overhand shot.
there's Marc from Chasing the Bees. They're sitting, taking pictures.
You know, he's actually been at this event the last 2 years, and he's part of what makes it so special. He puts out some awesome follow-up and commentaries from what he experiences while walking through the round, and it's always awesome to have him here.
And he's always in his shorts and
his sandals. Yeah, love it. Love it. Staple.
So this hole, and you can see it's difficult to get around. It played at 3.42, so almost a half a stroke above par. This is a common play, but if you come in too early, you can see more casual water here.
He goes for that same approach to the hole, and doesn't look like he caught any of the inside, but he went long. Well, long of the fairway.
He's still going to have like a 60-foot putt, I'd say.
Yeah. Great approach by Travis. Gets a
And you
little
can
bit behind, and he's going to have to get in that water or play behind it.
Yeah, and that's something that usually doesn't happen on this hole. Those two pools behind the basket actually caused a lot of trouble for people because, like, they can play it casually, but again, they're going to be moving 20 feet backwards from where they would otherwise be right next to the basket. So,
you know, funny story I can tell. Rivas was in one of those puddles that you can see from the right. It's on the right hand here to the left side of the basket, playing the hole properly, and he took his shoe and sock off so he could play the disc where it laid, and it's a legal play, and it was great to see. And not only that, he hit the putt.
Good. Yeah, that's
he truly would have had to have lost close to 20 feet to play from behind, so the card all agreed he made the smart move.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe there's now 3 discs in that pond.
Determination, focus. Oh, man.
It does look like he took the casual relief behind that puddle, and an unfortunate rim around the basket.
It actually cost him, you know. It probably cost him 15 feet there, and who knows whether it would have gone in any better, but I think probably it would have.
Much more comfortable putt for him in that range for sure. Everyone just shaking the water off. Looks to me like Travis is in it. Hard to see from that angle, but
he might have been just short. I don't know. You can see how Nick is gingerly trying to hover his foot above the disc.
Tough bogey.
It's hard to believe how much water was on this hole. And on the whole course, really.
Well, that played to 1 stroke for Shane, bringing Shane and Mike right back to a tie. Nick Carl still sitting just 2 strokes behind them, with Travis and Dylan 2 strokes behind that. Hole 12, another. I mean, it's hard to say it's a must get to, but it's definitely a very gettable 2.
It's a really guarded green. There's a couple of big guardian trees if you go the backhand route. There's also a flick route.
That got opened up recently, and we see more and more players taking it now.
That's a really great play right there.
It's really the smartest play is to just play something on a very slight hyzer over the rock.
Yeah, this played as the 3rd easiest hole. It was 2.67, so it was a third of a stroke under par.
So far, every player playing it exactly as it's designed with that hyzer shot.
Oh, flight tracker.
Look at that.
Wow.
He hit the brick at the base of the pin and got a beautiful stop there. Oh, we have Nick Carl taking that flick route we were talking about.
Yeah, it's a real touchy flick because you have to hit the gap, but you have to do it softly in a way that's going to come back because you can see it's way left of the basket.
To be honest, he's one of the first players I've seen take the flick route on an Anheuser approach. Usually it's a hyzer flick.
And that's the danger when you hit a little bit early. It's left him with probably an 80-foot putt downhill.
Ooh.
It's a great bid.
That was the very bottom of the band. He did not miss that by much.
That's tough.
It's one of those putts where I'm not even sure if he saw that. He was lining up the putt to go straight, and I don't think he imagined he'd go that high. Great birdie for Travis. Great angle for that shot.
Yeah, this is on that rock. You can see there. I mean, the from the tee to the basket, it probably goes down 40.
Absolutely,
feet.
absolutely.
So.
No one jumps off the rock when they're done taking the putt. You know, it's that high. Quick little cleanup for Shane as we finish off hole 12. Moving down the road for the players. 3 birdies there. Mike takes his lead back 1 stroke over Shane. Travis and Dylan both move 1 stroke closer to Carl. Again, making this card, no more than 4 strokes off the lead and the last on the card, and that's a lot of fun. Hole 13. Straight as an arrow to the basket, 230 feet, but definitely plays uphill rise, so it's probably closer to 250, 260 shot. The only real danger here is kicking a tree and going left where there is a pretty large body of water that you can be OB.
Yeah. There's definitely OB on this hole. It runs the whole length of the left side. And because of the water, I actually had to move it in towards the basket more than it usually is.
I would say it was quite a bit more for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't, if you throw it straight, it shouldn't come into play, but there's the danger that you'll hyzer out into it. So, oh, that was a beautiful kick off that tree.
He kissed that ever so slightly, and it brought him within 15 feet.
I mean, on the angle that it originally was, it was headed towards OB, I think.
Oh, if that went untouched, I agree. It would have gone right down in there.
So it was
that was on a string.
That was a beautiful shot. So this one played as the 6th easiest hole, or 6th hardest hole, I guess. So just a touch over par, which is actually surprising because it is straight ahead. But anything early pretty much guarantees that you're going to get no better than a par.
Shane's showing us here how this hole can play difficult. He's taking his 3rd shot still from about 80 to 100 feet out.
Mm-hmm.
Settles in nicely. He'll settle for a par there. I mean, I'm sorry. He'll settle for a bogey there.
You owe somebody a beer on top of it.
Looks like it.
So more water. You can see.
A little long of an approach for Dylan.
Oh, stayed close. Gave it sort of a half run. Or maybe he hit a tree. I don't know.
Not sure what happened there.
It seemed like it was closer, but he cleaned it up for par, so that's fine. It's a really good birdie.
Excellent birdie. This hole's very gettable on a normal day, but today was not a normal day.
With him and Shane battling, and Shane now losing 2 strokes on this hole, I think he's going to have to start pushing.
Tough holes to push, but Nick with another nice birdie there for him, too.
A little high, but settles into the cage. So, carding a bogey, definitely not pleased with that. Losing 2 strokes. And he lost a stroke in the last hole, too. So
he is now sitting in a second place tie, 3 strokes off of Mike heading into hole 14. Hole 14 is tough. It plays kind of an Anheuser S-curve to a basket, 300 feet. There's danger everywhere. The right-hand side can even kick you far enough to be into a road that's OB. Mm-hmm. The left-hand side is another hole completely that plays through treacherous woods. You really have to find clean. Or there was this one gap straight up the middle. It's very hard to hit.
Yeah, and we opened it up on the right-hand side, but that's sort of the gap that I try and take now, but it's tough to hit it.
I was referencing you really on that. I've seen you take it so many times, and I've seen you hit it, and we've seen now the first 3 players on this card hit something within 50 to 100 feet off this box. And
oh, that's a beautiful line.
Good opportunity for Travis, for sure,
yeah,
just to pick up a stroke anywhere, because, I mean, these 3 guys, no one's off the box yet, and he made it within the circle, it looks like.
Shane throwing a rock.
That's an awesome play here, but he just, again, look at that.
And he got a lot of glide over
Tough
to
kiss.
The other fairway.
And he is in the center fairway of hole 15.
It's not a good spot. Yeah, so none of these guys had really great drives. This, however, is a great approach.
That's an incredibly impressive way to kick off a drive like that. I mean, he is inside the circle. And that wasn't easy. He had every bit of a drive there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another beautiful kick. But it's left him short. He's probably 50 feet short. At least 40.
Yeah, it's about time. With this laurel, you can really start to see how much that wind's kicking up, too. Looks like, yeah.
So you can see Shane on the other fairway over there, trying to figure out what he's going to do.
A little bit over the top for sure here.
It's a great approach. Just caught that last twig. You could see how those laurels just are unforgiving.
Yeah, you don't fight your way through those very often.
Puts himself in the circle. Travis with a long putt for birdie. Actually left it a little short.
Yeah, he definitely didn't want to leave that there, especially after his incredible drive overhand. Front cage, it looks like.
So this is an opportunity for Shane to take one back. Oh, just misses.
Looks like he forced it a little bit right there. He was hungry for that one.
Mm-hmm. So at this point in the round, these guys got to be worried about the chase card and even the third card, maybe.
Absolutely. I mean, the third card, I believe there was even a player on the third card with a 54 as well. So, that was 6 players chasing, what was already the 5th place score.
Right. So Mike had the first round hot score was a 50. And actually Dan Zaleski ended up the second round hot score. He was in AM1 with a 51.
Wow.
So you can see, nobody is lighting it up with 40s. So
it wasn't a day for that,
could happen. Yeah. So when you start shooting not very much over par or under par, anybody can come from second or third card. And
it's a scary thing, especially now these guys are coming into hole 15. Hole 15 is an interesting hole because it's gettable for so many players, and then you'll see so many players maybe folly on it. It's 300 feet, it's pin straight, but there are trees on both sides of the fairway, and none of them let up if you hit them.
And it actually played over par. The last hole, hole 14, played at 3.46. This hole, hole 15, is playing at 3.4.
It's impossible for me to be surprised. You just saw what looked like an incredible shot off the tee box, but it hit something, and it's catastrophe.
Mm-hmm.
But this hole asks a lot out of the player. It's every bit as much about power as it is about control, and you can't be off on either one. And this is one of those holes where you just know it.
So he should be able to get up and down pretty easily from there. He's about pin high to the left. I think this is another one of those situations where Dylan's just trying to lean on what's comfortable for him, and that's that overhand.
I agree 100%. There's no way if you don't play this course all the time that you're going to be able to pull a disc out of your bag and be very confident in the lane. So Shane, on the other hand,
that is an amazing shot.
It's 100% how you do that on a backhand. He hit the thickest part of the fairway for sure. Tough approach.
Yeah, and when you get off the fairway, it leaves you with difficult angles. You can see from where we're positioned, it looks like you should just be able to throw right through that gap, but clearly he saw something different and tried to hyzer around everything.
That was a great approach. He really didn't have much there.
Gave it a good bid. He should be able to clean it up from there. He definitely struggled on this hole. You can see Mike.
Yeah, he was just about pin high, and he actually put a great looking run on that.
Yeah, but it's really hard to, unless you just throw it dead straight, it's really hard to get a look.
Dylan drops his just under the basket.
That's a good putt.
Unbelievable birdie by Shane there. Nick sneaks his just over the top of the cage. Cleans up his par.
So at this point, I think Shane takes one back on this hole, but Mike is able to minimize the damage.
For sure.
Moving on to hole 16.
Hole 16 with two-stroke lead for Mike still, and now Nick is tied for that second place spot, also just 2 strokes off of Mike. So Mike knows that there are 2 guys breathing down his neck still, and hole 16, just another piece of Coggshall's brutal history, I guess. 213 feet, no way. It's straight uphill, plays every bit to about 275, 300 to the basket, and you can't touch anything. I've said it 100 times already, but you have to get clean up this hill to have any chance at a clean 2 or a fair 3, I guess.
Yeah, and if you kick something, anything could happen. You come rolling back to you. You could kick off to the right and be in trouble, or off to the left and be in trouble. You really just need to throw it straight up the hill, straight over the crest, just like that.
Yeah, it snuck its way up.
To get yourself a look. This one played, let's see, just a quarter stroke over par. So it's right in the middle in terms of hardest holes.
That right there was a smooth hyzer backhand up it.
Yeah, this play I've seen work.
Yes.
But again, you hit a tree and you're already on edge, so you might be rolling, you could be sliding.
And then he showed us the real danger of an overhand was coming down that hill on its dome, just a pure sled.
Mm-hmm.
Travis's sled just came to a stop.
That was a good recovery.
Absolutely. Inside the circle from down there is all you can really ask for. Travis with a very similar shot coming. A fairly similar result.
Mm-hmm. So Travis looked like he threw a tomahawk and Dylan threw the thumber, which is kind of interesting. There's gaps on either side, so either could work, but hopefully they're able to recover and take their threes. The only player with a bid for birdie, and he just left it a little bit low.
Shane's got to split the V here, I think.
Oh, that's such a fun putt, too. It just leaks it a little left.
It's got to be disheartening to hit that V and then not make the putt.
Mm-hmm.
Travis from just about circle's edge. It's the front of the cage again, and it's not the first time for him today. Strong headwind on this putt.
You can see the leaves blowing. That is an incredible birdie.
Fun fact, that's my CTP.
Oh, all right. I think I put mine maybe a few inches from there.
It's a bonus for playing a separate division that day, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Just cleaning up his par.
I think par is a great score here on a day like today.
Oh, yeah, definitely. With this wind. This is going to be bogey, I think.
It is. And even that.
Shane knows that he's running out of time. And he took a bogey. Lost another stroke.
We're coming into hole 17, and Mike now has a 3-stroke lead over Nick, who is coming to second place with Shane. You know, just 1 stroke behind him, and we are coming into, I would say, the last hole where a lot can happen.
Oh, yeah.
Hole 17 is the second par 4 on the course. It plays to about 500 feet. It is a huge dogleg. I think, in my prediction, I'd say it's about 300 feet to the corner, maybe 320 to the corner.
Yeah.
And then it plays straight down to this basket here, and it's always guarded. Early on the right-hand side, we have cleared a lot of laurel out in the last 2 years, but you still really don't want to be in there. Anytime you can follow the road to the basket, you're going to have your better approach. Turning in on the left-hand side here is common, but you have to hope not to hit too much.
That's a fine shot, too. He should have a flick from there.
It's hard to be upset if you're in the fairway, that's for sure. Edge of the right-hand side, I'd say, short of the corner for Nick there.
This one came in at 4.25, so it played just a quarter stroke over par.
You know, in this wind, I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that number. That's the first one that's really blown me away because, I mean, I played this hole twice today, and I don't really remember what I got. I think I may have 3'd it once, but at the same time, it wasn't an easy hole.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely not an easy hole.
And these guys are sitting under a lot of pressure right now, too.
Yeah, definitely. There's a very specific landing area, and if you're outside of that landing area, you're going to have a tough approach. It's very difficult to read to card.
Wow, that went a long way before hitting something for Shane. He is going to find himself in some tough laurel, which looks like down close to the bottom.
I'm actually surprised. There was 26 players that got the 3 on this one.
It's awesome. That's really awesome.
Or at least the birdie was hit 26 times. I'm not sure how many players.
That had to feel really good on this day.
Mm-hmm.
That approach definitely left him still close to 100 short. It's not uncommon here. Ooh.
That's gonna.
You see what I mean when I say anything can happen on this hole? Mike went no more than about 45 feet laterally there. He has found an opening.
That was a good recovery, but it's still.
He attacked it, that's for sure.
He might be in layup range right there.
I agree.
Because behind the basket, actually, you could roll.
Absolutely.
And there is OB, so he might just want to lay that up, knowing that he has a sizable lead, I think, at this point. See how he plays it.
See what Travis does here. He's obviously wants to be as aggressive as possible. But he knows the dangers of this hole probably better than anyone, of course.
He just clipped that laurel on the way out. So he's going to give himself a putt, but it's still probably just outside circle's edge.
Dylan just settling one in. Probably just trying to preserve where he is in the standings, maybe, you know. Doesn't want to give up a silly stroke by trying to run something far past the basket.
Yeah, like Mike.
Wow, step putt from Mike.
Gave that a run and left himself with some meat on the bone. Yeah, Travis just laying that up smartly. Yeah, and it cost him a stroke, so.
Yeah, it definitely was layup mode. You know, that was a good call, Bob.
Lucky for him, I think he had a few to give. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you know.
But he's got to be thinking to himself.
Where's the chase card?
Does that just lose it for me because somebody came off the chase card? So it's stressful going into your last hole. All these guys just tapping in. Par is definitely not a bad score in that hole.
Double bogey for Mike, though.
That hole bit him a little bit.
It did. It did. You know, obviously he knew where he was going into it, and that can be a tough spot to be in, but he still finds himself one stroke ahead of Nick entering this last hole. You know, shooting one down on the round, another guy shooting down with him. You know, everyone's really close to even or under par, and hole 18 is really going to be the decider, I guess. 275 feet. There's a guardian tree on the left-hand side, but otherwise, it is a pin straight shot, and we'd like to see a lot of players are definitely going to attack the basket here.
Yeah, this one played just a little bit over par, 3.19, but it was one of the easier holes. So
the dangers are there, but it's a wider fairway.
Really, the only danger is to pinch it off early and have no shot, or going long of the basket by 100 feet and being OB. But
yeah, I mean, Nick really took a shot there, obviously knowing that a birdie was important, and he didn't catch much. It was a really great shot.
So this is an interesting play. Oh, wow.
Perfect.
Worked out just fine.
Oh, wow. Here we go. This might be our final flight tracker.
Flight tracker.
Oh, he hits just 10-15 short and rolls right up to it.
It's amazing. Makes me want to go learn a thumber. I don't think my shoulder could take it.
Might be past your prime for the overhands, Bob.
Maybe.
Travis playing an aggressive forehand. That's going to work out.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Yeah. Great job, Travis.
And another flight
tracker. Oh, there it is. Spoke too soon. One more flight tracker.
Just inside of that tree. Perfect.
Right over the stump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you got a straight forehand, or even one that goes right and then comes back around that grouping of trees, that's really the play here, I think.
I agree.
Give it a good run.
That's all he could do there.
Mm-hmm. Shane knows he probably has to hit this one, but so he gives it a run.
Finds himself just past the basket.
Yeah, he's probably still 25 feet, so Mike went long of the basket.
But he lays up for the putt. That should seal the deal for him.
Maybe we'll have to see what the chase card does.
Great cleanup by Shane. That's true. Certainly clinched it for the card, but he has no idea what came up behind him.
I mean, he's
Tough final putt for Nick.
5 strokes off of his first round score, so he's under par, but he's not far under par.
No. No, big shout out to these guys. Playing on camera on a tough windy day, finishing off their last putt of the day, and it's just good for them to be there.
Yeah, I can't thank all the players enough to come out. You could see it ended up being sunny, but for the most part, it was kind of cloudy. It was a little overcast. There was threat of rain. It was certainly windy all day. So it was great that we got 90 players, almost 90 players to come out.
Well, there you go. Mike Habets showing the trophy there, which means it looks like he probably stayed away from any danger on the chase card, playing a second round under par. Shane and Nick just 2 strokes behind him, and there you see Mike accepting the trophy from the Welcome to the Jungle 4. Nice job again, Bob. Amazing tournament. You can see Mike taking it down with a total of a 105. Rivish jumping up from the chase card to take second place. Nick, Shane, and Dylan finish off. They stayed in their spots. You have me there with the tie for 5th place. Noah, Kyle, and Travis finishing off the top 10. Just a thanks again to ActonTV and Rapscallion Taproom Brewery and Disc Golf and Sturbridge again for making this all possible. This was just an amazing day out there in Fitchburg, Bob.
Yeah, thanks to you, Adam. Appreciate it.
You're the man.
Hope to see everybody out there again next year.
Quick shout out to the production crew there too. You can see Mark, Sam, Dan, and Eleanor. Again, huge parts of making this all incredibly possible for us.
Thanks, everyone.